Namaste and good evening, everyone. To all the fellow chartered accountants joining us today for another enriching session of Golden Charcha. I am CA Rashi Sonthalia and I have the privilege of coordinating today's session. Golden Charcha has truly emerged as a golden initiative by EIRC of ICAI, bringing cutting-edge knowledge directly to our schools. These initiatives reflect our commitment and continuous professional development and ensuring that every member of our fraternity stays equipped with the latest tools and techniques. Our today's topic is how to handle the bank for the credit financing, and our special addressee for today is CA Mukesh Bajaj. I would like to request him to speak a few words on those topics. Over to you, sir.
A very good evening and thank you, Rashi. At the outset, I'd like to extend my warm regards to CA Vishnu Tulsian who invited me for extending this speech. I'll not uh, say it's a speech, it's basically whatever I've done all these years for last 30 years in my corporate experience and bank financing experience. So few words of uh, sharing basically with the fellow colleagues. So, what we say we mean to understand by how to handle bank finance, how to handle the bank for availing bank finance. So, when we say availing, handle the bank, meaning the compliance norms today has significantly changed and it keeps on changing. Regulatory norms, banks are being monitored, and similarly, clients are being monitored by the banks. But at the time of availing a credit, bank issues a sanction letter. The terms of sanction letter normally uh, people tend to ignore the exact wordings of the sanction letter. There's a word of caution here from my side, from my experience, because there are number of terms, number of uh, items written in the terms of sanction, which where a loan gets, there are problems in regularly serving the interest or paying your or meeting your obligations. At that time, there are issues which one is not able to envisage, and that is the reason why it is very important that right from the terms of sanction, you engage with your banker, with the person who has issued the advice, the sanction, and also there are few terms, few things which you can actually negotiate upon. It is not that the sanction letter once issued becomes final and binding until and unless you accept it, which I'm sure everyone is aware of. But usually people look at the amount sanctioned, the collateral, the rate of interest. That is all. The finer terms are not being looked at, or maybe at times it is ignored. So it is very vital at the time of entering into the arrangement with the bank. And I'll give a very small example of one of my experience in a couple of years back, where I was, negotiating with the bank at the time of renewal of the limits. The company with whom I was there was a limit of about 100 crores, which we increased to about 250 crores in a short span of time. So when we were doing the renewals, normally in the working capital limits, there's a standard terms that for stocks and debtors, you have to keep a 25% margin. That's the standard norm. So what I did, I just thought of tweaking on that margin, because you will appreciate that on a 100 200 crore loan, or a higher amount of loan, 500 crore loan, 10% 5% margin also makes a big impact on the cash flow. So 25% margin is a standard norm, and we had a good credit rating with the uh, rating agency. So we approached the banker and said, no, we are not agreeing to this 25% margin, which you have been imposing on us for so many years, considering our credit history and the repayment uh, track record. So we will request you to reduce it to 10%. So usually it is something unheard of, and the banker was also taken aback. But you will not believe that ultimately they came down to 15% and they agreed to reduce this margin to 15%, which was the first account in that bank where they agreed to reduce this margin from 25% to 15%. So there was a clear cut saving of 10%, which is recurring year on year. And then on that basis, we were able to, negotiate with other banks also to reduce the limits. So all I'm trying to impress upon is that there are ways and means where you can, discuss and negotiate with banks, and banks are willing, if your account is good, if you have done a proper diligence, and if you are able to do the proper reporting, you are doing the submission of stock statements, the data statement in time. Banks are willing to, tweak their norms. So that is one thing. There's another just piece of Rajesh. I'm just taking 5 minutes. I'll
Yes, yes,
not take
yes.
much time.
Very interesting.
So it's really good to have Rajesh, my colleague, and really I'm thankful to Vishnu to put us all together. And somehow we are missing Vishnu, but then he would be having his own professional commitments. So, anyways, so Rajesh, I just wanted to, you would be definitely aware, but then, yeah, for credit rating, I think I'll request Rashi to put in a word to Vishnu to have one session. There's a requirement to have a full-fledged session on credit rating agencies. How the credit rating people take their borrowers on ride. I mean, I'm using this word because when you want to change your rating agency, if you are doing getting your rating done from one rating agency and now you want to shift. So in our corporate groups, I've seen in our CFO group, I've seen there are so many corporates complaining on that, and people, these rating agencies charge really hefty sum for giving the NOC, even though the bankers have given their NOCs, still they do not want to part with their fees, and that is why they keep on. And since they are directly impaneled with SEBI, they have their power. They keep on doing their review, and whether or not you have shared your information with them, and then they just write one line saying issuer not participating. That means in the public forum, your image is getting tarnished on one hand. Number two, it gives a wrong notion that you are not cooperating with the rating agency. Whereas the actual picture is that you want to come out from that rating agency and you want to shift to another rating agency. So there are a lot of issues, similar issues with rating agencies. So that is one. But as far as the bank trade finance is concerned, it is very important that you get your ratings done properly. You present the facts properly before your credit rating, whether it is CRISIL, ICRA, or in rating, so many other rating agencies. And the last piece that I would just want to mention is people in hurry try to submit their stock statement, debtor statement on estimate basis because they have a deadline by which they need to submit to the bank. But when you do, I mean, it is mostly for unlisted companies or private limited companies or not applicable to other whether it is partnership firm or proprietorship firm, but I'm talking of mostly unlisted and private limited companies where you do not have other reporting, but it gets actually reported in your Caro report when your stat auditor does it, or when your internal auditor does it. So when there is a difference, actual difference between the figures that you submitted with your banker, whereas the actual figures appearing in your books on the finalization or closing of that period. So it is very important, just because to keep your drawing power intact, you are submitting this, but then one has to be very cautious that yes, the estimates are on a reasonable basis and you are able to justify the estimates on a later date. Thank you so much. Any questions will be welcome. Over to you, Rajesh and Rashi.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir, for such a beautiful introduction of the topic. So our topic for speaker for today is CA Rajesh Singhania. He is a commerce graduate from St. Xavier's College in 1991. He is also a fellow member of ICI, ICSI, and ICMAI. And also at present, he is the CFO and company secretary of Terai Group of Companies, a business conglomerate with interest in tea and real estate. He is attached with various CA associates in Kolkata and a few NGOs in Kolkata, and was also president of VIP role of CA Association in the year 2019-20. He's a secretary of Poddar Chhatra Nivas Alumni Association and is also a managing committee member of Poddar Chhatra Nivas. He's a regular faculty at the Institute of Company Secretary of India. He has over 29 years of experience in project finance, corporate taxation, and corporate law. He's a visiting faculty at various institutions on various topics relating to income tax and corporate finance. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Very good evening to everybody. Thank you, CA Rashi, and my very old friend, very close friend, Mukesh Bajaj. We are one of the best friends to each other, and it is a great opportunity to speak on any platform which is given by EIRC, and I'm really thankful to EIRC for providing me this opportunity. This session, I feel that since it is a session on the how to handle the bank finance, so I think I should go only with the experience, like Mukesh already um, told that in one of the occasions he was able to reduce the margin. Normally, the margin is 25% on stock and 30 to 40% on debtors. And now Mukesh was able to get the margin reduced to even 15%. That is a great achievement. And that is not very much often. Anyway, uh, for those people who are not too much into bank finance, there are few terms which are very important. One term is the project preparation of the project report. Now, project report may be for a term loan, project report may be for a only cash credit limits. If it is a term loan, then you have to prepare the project report, and then the techno-economic feasibility study is also done by either the bank itself or by a impaneled consultant. Like there is a SBI Capital Market is there, Resurgent India is there, Dun and Bradstreet is there. So that is for the term loan basically. And in addition to the term loan projects, then there is a cash credit limits also, for which you have to prepare the CMA data. Now, CMA data is basically a RBI prescribed format in which you have to give your audited balance, audited accounts. This is a profitability statement or balance sheet of the last few years and also the projections. Now, so far as the term loan is concerned, you have to give the projected balance sheet till the time your term loan installments are repaid. Say if the door to door tenure is very clear. Suppose I am setting up a hotel project. That means from the day the disbursement is made, and after the disbursement, then there is a period that you are to complete the hotel. Then there is a holiday period to start the repayment, and then there is a period that you have to complete the repayment. The total period is called door to door, which is normally in the hotel project, it is say 13 years, say 3 years for the construction period, 1 year for the holiday period, and balance period is for the total repayment. Now, after the preparation of that project report and TEB study report, bank, what happens that the bank goes into the every detail of the company. There are several tools nowadays for the banks to look into that what are your civil score of the promoters, civil score of the group companies, the banking of the group companies in other banks, what is the outstanding, whether the outstanding are above the sanction limit or not. So many things are there because it is there in the system, and for that you have to keep your everything absolutely in right direction. Suppose you are wanting to make the payment in due date, you make the payment in due date so that you can say that your account has never turned into SMA even zero. Now SMA zero term is coming, like if you are making the payment on the due date or within 30 days, if you are not able to make the payment within 30 days, then your account is going to SMA zero. If you are not able to make the payment even after 30 days to 30 to 60 days, now it is going to SMA 1, and 60 to 90 it is going to SMA 2, and then after that the NPA things are coming. If you are not making the payment of your interest or term loan liability, then that is the system SMA 0, SMA 1, SMA 2, SMA, then NPA. The thing is that for a good promoter, you have to keep your account always in good shape, whether it is with the any bank. Because if you don't make the payment of interest or any term loan liability, it will come into the system and it will always disturb you wherever you go to any bank for any finance. Now, coming to the types of the limit, there are several limits. One is the BG limit, that is non-fund based. BG, again, there is a performance bank guarantee, there is a financial bank guarantee. In the cash credit, there is a simple cash credit also, there is a overdraft also. And in the term loan, there are so many other types of limits also. Then there is a buyer's credit also. Now, I give one example. What happens, the bank asks for a cash margin in the bank guarantee. Normally, they ask for that you give me the 25% cash margin. And it is for a one, say, manufacturing unit. What happens is that when I am taking a loan from the bank, then my entire block is mortgaged with the bank. Now, if my entire block is mortgaged with the bank, then why there is a need for a 25% cash margin? Here, the customers can always negotiate with the banker that see my entire block is already mortgaged with you. Why you need a cash, whatever cash margin is there? So banks normally say, no, you give me 25%. You can even bring out to zero also. I have seen that many cases that you can bring the cash margin to even zero also. And but at least you can make your bank understand that your cash margin should be not more than 10%. The asking the 25% cash margin for a bank guarantee is totally ridiculous, according to me. If your project is very good, you can always negotiate with the bank regarding the cash margin. Now, coming with the processing charges. This is a very important part that the banks normally charges, say 300 rupees per lakh or 400 rupees per lakh as a processing charge. Here the area is that I have seen that even the good customer, they have the total waiver on the processing charges. Total waiver on the processing charges. And normally the customers who are not aware of the banking, they give the entire processing charge. They just think ये तो देना ही पड़ेगा, हमें तो इलाज नहीं है. ऐसा एकदम नहीं है. आप नॉर्मल वे में ऑलवेज बोल सकते हैं कि आप मुझे 75% वेवर दीजिए. You ask for 90%, maybe the bank will give you 75% the processing charge. Now again, what happens, that bank will say that I need to have the valuation, say it is a big loan, they will say that I need two search reports, two legal opinion and two valuations. You can always say to the bank that you have done your one search report and one valuation, and if the another valuation is required, that means the bank is doing it for your own safety. You can always ask your bank that I will not bear that extra valuation charges or extra search. See, the bank is also looking for a good customer. If you are a good customer, bank will only take only one valuation fees, valuers fees, and one legal valuers, legal search advocate fees. Other things are extra. You can negotiate with the bank regarding that also. Now the bank also charges the inspection fees. There are so many things are there. Always say the bank that I am paying the interest. I am paying the interest in time. I am a good customer, and please do not charge me anything extra. Coming to the uh, rate of interest, this is a very important part because the rate of interest affects your finances. What happens? The rate of interest is linked, either it is a MCLR rate, or it is a RBLR rate, or it is directly linked with the repo rate. Nowadays the repo rate is 5.50%. Normally any good customer having a triple B rating can get a finance at repo plus 2. That means 7.5%. And at best, and the rate of RBLR is normally nowadays say 9.35 or 9.25, something like that. Bank has got a adequate margin. Their cost of finance is only 5.50%, and they can always give a good customer at a rate which is repo plus 2.5. Now, another thing, this RBLR is applicable for the MSME. For the agricultural, it is MCLR also. You can ask for the MCLR of 1 month, which is very less. MCLR 1 month is as on date is say approximately 8.05, and MC and RBLR is 8.35. So there is a difference. Every month, the bank has to just take a letter that okay, they will again reschedule. What if the MCLR changes? I will go with the changes. There is absolutely no problem. You can. What happens? The very good customers, they even go on paying 11%, 10%, even 12%. The rate of interest is the area you can always negotiate with the bank, and you always approach some other bank also, so that they can always understand this. They have got other banks also. Say Punjab National Bank has got a very good policy on agricultural finance, tea finance, and they are giving the loan at 7.75%. You take a just in principle sanction letter from say bank and give to your bank that my other bank, the Punjab National Bank, is giving the interest at a very lower rate, and please give me the lower rate of interest. Bank will say, no, you have to go to my higher authority. It is not coming in my power. Well, okay, I will go. I will go and meet your MD. There is no problem in meeting the MD. Who stops me? I am a good customer. I will go and meet the ED. I will go and meet the GM. Please write every day to your banker, copy to ED or GM or MD that no, this is the rate of interest I am looking for, and you have to give me this rate of interest. And someday or the other, you will definitely get the appointment and you can put up your case. I remember a case about 20 years back. The bank had charged about 20,000 rupees towards the processing charge. Now I approached the head office of the bank. I had the appointment with the CMD. CMD told, only for this 20,000 you have come to me. You have already spent rupees 15,000 your flights. Then he called his ED, he called his GM, he called his other DGMs. See, this is the customer. This customer's account will never go NPA. For 20,000 he has come to me. The approach should be like that, that don't ignore any charge which the bank is taking. Now, again the problem again is coming that the rate of interest. आपको पता नहीं चलता है कि बैंक ने क्या rate of interest ली. You take a chart from the bank. Every bank has got a software. In the software, they will say that on this day 9.35, 2.35, or 8.5. Or then if there is any panel also, they will say 1% or 2%. So you never know, because see, every month either you have the calculation by making the product. This is the day. This is the total outstanding and the making the product rate of interest. You can make your own calculation, but you can always get a rate of interest charge from the bank, that this is the rate they have charged. And accordingly, you can always write to the bank that, see, you have taken a wrong charge. And in fact, Bank of India is such a body that they are charging regularly to their customer a higher rate than what is already sanctioned. तो प्लीज कीप एन क्लोज आई ऑन योर फाइनेंसेस. ज्यादा पैसा है इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि जो रेट बैंक मांग रहा है आप उसको दे दीजिए. आप you have to check this thing through your any accountant, or you take the report from the bank that this is the rate of interest they are charging. Now what happens? The bank
Rajesh,
is charging.
Rajesh, if I may just pause you for one minute.
Yes, yes,
At this point, I'll just take 1 minute. Banks usually for agricultural finance, it is a priority sector lending.
that's
So
correct.
for PSL, they have their own targets, and unless and until they meet those targets, they have to answer RBI. So in one of the occasions, there were negotiation on these rate of interest, and you will be surprised that we got finances at 1% less than MCLR.
Yes, that is
So,
also possible.
it was, we got finance at 4.5 percent,
That is really
uh,
great.
it was like the company was at the top of the
That is
world.
really great. That is
So
really great.
that is the level of negotiation you can go with the bankers. And of course, there's a word of caution that you have a limit of 100 CR. So 100 CR is the upper cap for priority sector lending. So you can enjoy those rates only till your limit does not cross 100 crores. Thank you.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. Now, coming to the rating, what I was telling, that some banks have got a policy that, okay, if your finance, your loan amount is 25 crores or less, then you don't have to go for the external rating. And some banks has got the policy that, okay, up to 50 crores, you don't have to take the external rating. Now, in the external rating also, there is a lot of khela. There are so many agencies in Calcutta, they will call you that, sir, आपका ये rating है, because it is on the public platform. And then, sir, आपका मैं एक basis point rating को improve करवा दूंगा. मेरा ये बोलना है always कि have your rating yourself. If you have the little idea, थोड़ा सा आप professional help ले सकते. थोड़ा सा फाइनेंसेस को यू हैव टू जस्ट कीप इन गुड थिंग. अगर लॉस हो रहा है, 1 year लॉस इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट. 1 साल लॉस हो गया, यू हैव टू ऑलवेज हियर आपको तो लॉस हो गया, आपको तो लॉस. आई रिमेंबर वन केस इन ICICI बैंक. We had one account, and that was a one more thing I want to add, that suppose the value of your property is very high and you need a CC limit, then you don't have to go for a like drawing power limits like that. You can mortgage your entire block, because in any case you have to mortgage your entire block. Now say that your loan amount is 5 crore and your property value has become say 15 crore. So you can ask your bank, you give me a OD. I will not give any stock statement. You will not give me any drawing power. My limit is fixed, say 4 crore or 5 crore, and within that you will have to give me the finance, and you will charge the rate, the interest on the outstanding. That is also possible. What happens that if your property value is higher, don't go for drawing power things like you, then you can avoid monthly submission of your stock statement, then MSOD, monthly select operational data, QIS1, QIS2, QIS3, so many forms. Just now Mukesh was telling that please don't see the first page of the sanction letter, that this is the limit, this is the rate of interest, and this is the processing charge. Please read at the entire sanction letter. At least 4 to 5 उसको आप अलग से please note कर लें, what exactly are the terms and conditions. If the terms are not met, bank will apply the penal interest. Now what you will find with them? You have to read everything. You have to bring in this equity, you have to bring this equity within this time, you have to maintain this ratio, 2:1 ratio, this, that, so many things are there. You have to pay this. So everything, please examine the sanction letter, and only after examining, please give your dissatisfaction that I am not acceptable to, because when you are making the documentation with the bank, then you only sign, you don't see any terms. If you read the terms and conditions, then you will find that your skin is even mortgage to the bank. And very important thing, that people give the collateral, say, of their own house where they stay. I have seen so many cases in India that if I am staying in my house and if I have given the mortgage of my house to the bank, and due to maybe the industry situation, the account becomes NPA, then what will happen to you? Because your house is your house. You please do not disturb your house. You give other collateral, you give your factory, you give your office, but please do not give any your own house. I will not say the bank will not agree. They will definitely take the personal guarantee. पर्सनल गारंटी के बिना promoters का वो कभी मानते नहीं है, पहला. And second, bank tries to take the corporate guarantee or personal guarantee of all the shareholders which are above having holding say 5% or 10%. Please, in the beginning itself, in the first day of the sanction, you please say that no, I will not accept this. I will not. Once the guarantee is given, it is very difficult to dilute the guarantee terms even by the CMD of a bank. Bank cannot reduce, cannot dilute any security at any cost whatsoever. That please keep in mind that bank will never dilute any security in future also. If you are giving a fixed deposit, it is very easy for the bank to encash your fixed deposit and take it away. Why you give the fixed deposit? Why you have come to the bank for the this loan? Do not give any fixed deposit. Do not give any your own house where you are staying, because what will happen? Your family will be disturbed. You yourself will be disturbed. The account has not been become NPA because of the funds are being diverted. It is due to the industry problem. Also due to industry problem, it always can happen. And what will happen that when the account becomes NPA and the bank goes to the Sarfasi or say DRT and they get a order from the DM that you have to vacate the house. So please, this is my advice that you do not give your house at least as a collateral. Number one. Now submission of the bank this stock statement. यू पहले आप मन में सोच लीजिए कि आप 10 दिन में दे पाएंगे कि नहीं. आप बोल दीजिए आई गिव द स्टॉक स्टेटमेंट 20th of the following month. You save at that time itself. If you don't give the stock statement say within 10th, then what will happen? आपका लिमिट गया, आपकी ड्राइंग पावर गई, आपका सारा पैनल फैनल लगना शुरू हो गया. नाउ अब इसका पावर कहाँ है? पावर जाएगा आपका से हेड ऑफिस तक. अब आप हेड ऑफिस आप जाके क्या करोगे? एक बार जो लग गया वो लग गया. तो इसलिए पहले से ही आप बोल दो मुझे तो 20 तारीख के अंदर में स्टॉक स्टेटमेंट देना है, मैं उसके पहले दे ही नहीं सकता हूं. बैंक को लगा ठीक है, हाँ इंडस्ट्री का इनका प्रॉब्लम. आप जो व्हेन यू आर गिविंग द स्टॉक स्टेटमेंट, प्लीज गिव एज पर द अकाउंट. That is very important because nowadays even the auditor has to certify on a quarterly basis that this is the stock statement which is submitted to the bank that is matching with the books of accounts. That is very very important because what happens that the stock audit also takes place and अगर आप कुछ गलत दे दोगे, कुछ अकाउंट में अगर गलत हो गया तो बाद में कभी फॉरेंसिक ऑडिट होगी तो आप पर बहुत गलत चार्जेस भी लग सकते हैं. तो एटलीस्ट ट्राई टू गिव द स्टॉक स्टेटमेंट which is say debtors, if it is there 90 days, then give the correct picture please. That is very very important because once you have given to the bank, it becomes in the system only. Now you cannot change this thing. Now coming to the ratio, bank is very particular about the ratio. There are at least 5 to 6 ratios which are very important. That is the one is the TOL oblique T and W. Second is the DSCR. Third is the debt equity ratio, and fourth is the current ratio. These 4 ratios, any professional or any person who is working in a company in the finance category on a higher level, they at least should have the best idea what exactly is DSCR, what is debt equity ratio, what is current ratio, what is TOL oblique TLW. These ratios are very important, and give the projections only which are really acceptable. What happens that you have given the projection in your CMA that you will achieve a say growth of say 25%, and you think that no, for the loan I am giving the 25%, but actually it is 10%. What happens at the time of review? Then you have to give the query, give the reply to the query that why you have not achieved the projected sales. Give only the realistic data. That is very important. And bank always tries to take the not only the principal, of course they will try to take the some collateral also. If normally what happens for a trading loan, 100% collateral is sufficient, but banks are doing at 60% also, 75% also. But 75 to 80% is a very good matching collateral. 100 more than 100% please do not give, because एक बार आप फिर दे दे, आपका फिर हमेशा आपका फंसा हो रहेगा एक बार देने के बाद. Coming to the this civil score. अब आपका सिविल स्कोर, द मोर यू गो टू द बैंक, द मोर द इंक्वायरीज इन योर अकाउंट, द मोर द बैड civil scores you have. Please do not keep many credit cards. Keep only one or two cards which are required. The more credit card you keep, they will charge some issuance fees, some annual fees. You are not able to make the payment. What will happen? It will come to your civil and it will disturb your civil. And don't please unnecessarily go to so many banks. More the inquiries and more bad is your civil score. The civil score should be very good. Credit rating, bank also carries out its own internal rating also. Where is this say if it is a Bank of India, the BOI 1 is the best rating and BOI 8 is the worst rating. In 8, normally banks do not give any kind of facility unless it is a running account. If it is a new account, I don't think they will take the account at any cost. Now, rate of interest I have told, processing charge I have told, reading the bank sanction letter very important, and give your review proposal at least 1 month in advance, and give everything in one go. Give your balance sheet, give your provisional balance sheet, your other group account details, your all manufacturing licenses, everything. Give the CMA, and please do not delay in submission of any CMA to the bank. Whenever they are asking, please try to give the reply within hours. Nowadays they send the mail. It is very easy. Earlier they used to dispatch. Now they send the mail. Sit silent. हमने तो भेज दिया था मेल, आपका तो जवाब नहीं आया. तो प्लीज मेल का रिप्लाई इमीडिएटली करते हैं. अगर इफ यू डोंट हैव द डाटाज रेडी विथ यू, प्लीज से दैट ओके, वी आर preparing the details, we are asking the details from the factory, and then we will submit the things. Because बैंक के पास में बहुत इजी है कि मेल भेज दिया, सेंट्रल ऑफिस से क्वायरी आ गई, हेड ऑफिस से क्वायरी आ गई, उसको भेज दिया. एक कई बार होता है कि छोटे छोटे अकाउंट में बैंक बोलता है कि गिव मी द CA सर्टिफाइड बुक डेट स्टेटमेंट. आई फील दैट द borrower should negotiate. It is very difficult to get a CA certificate from outside or your inside, this book date certificate and this and that. Please go for the simple banking. जितना आप बैंक को मानोगे उतना ही आपको वो दबाएगा, बार बार वो दबाएगा कि भैया आपका ये कर लो. अच्छा, अब दूसरा जो मैं बोलना चाह रहा हूँ कि जो आपका जो असेसमेंट होता है क्रेडिट वाला, उसमें कई बार ये होता है कि जैसे आपको अपना एक नेटवर्थ का सर्टिफिकेट देना पड़ता है. आई हैव सीन इन मेनी केसेस कि नॉर्मली व्हाट हैपेंस है कि एक पर्सनल बैलेंस शीट में कैपिटल अकाउंट जो होता है से 2 करोड़ का है, बट उसके अगेंस्ट में मेरे पास जो वैल्यूएशन है, से मेरे पास एक लैंड है जो कि मैंने आज से 25 साल पहले ली, तो उसका जो कॉस्ट है वो तो मेरी बुक्स पे अकाउंट में से 1 करोड़ रुपया, उसकी एक्चुअल वैल्यू तो 25 करोड़ है। तो इफ यू आर गोइंग टू द बैंक, अप्रोचिंग द बैंक फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम, तब तो आप उनको एक्चुअल नेट वर्थ सर्टिफिकेट दो, ड्यूली सर्टिफाइड बाय ए चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट, एंड चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट कैन इश्यू ए करेक्ट। क्योंकि आप अगर बोलोगे कि मेरे पास में 2 करोड़ का ये कैपिटल अकाउंट है, दैट डजंट मीन दैट आपकी नेटवर्थ जो है 2 करोड़ की है। आपकी नेटवर्थ जो है वो 30 करोड़ की एक्चुअली में, जो आपकी जो वैल्यू ऑफ असेट्स है। तो फॉर द न्यू कस्टमर्स, बैंक ऑलवेज लुक फॉरवर्ड कि मेरा जो प्रमोटर जो है, जो बोरोवर है, उनकी जो अ, उनका सारा जो वैल्यू है उनका, ऐसा नहीं कि वो 2 करोड़ का आदमी है, वो 30 करोड़ का आदमी। दैट इज वन थिंग विच इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर द बैंक फाइनेंस। नाउ I am looking for the query from the house, because I think I want that let this session be very, very interactive, because so many things are there. I can speak. I have got so many other presentations also. I can give this project report, how project report is prepared, CMA data format, everything I can give. But I feel that if anybody has got any problem with any bank, and they can have this session very interactive. Mukesh, I think
Yeah,
we,
that's very true, and very good session by you, Rajesh. I think it should be open for all for queries. Rashi, you can coordinate on that.
So, if anybody has any queries, they can just type it in the chat box.
there is a query from a young chartered accountant, that Subham Goyal, that how did you get into this field? See, I am working for a company. If I'm working for a company, my principal job is to have the finance control. And if I
Rajesh, Rajesh, his query is how to get started. So he wants to start doing this bank financing work, I guess. So
Mukesh,
accordingly, you can take.
you please answer this question because you had been to this field, so you can answer the question in a better manner.
No, no, definitely you can also do it as correctly addressed by you. So, Shubham, my limited submission here would be, to keep meeting the banks. Unless until you meet the banks, there are so many customers coming to the banks, and banks are approaching so many clients. The first point to start will be to meet the new banks, private banks, and also nationalized banks, because whenever you are trying to approach a client for getting some loan syndication work, the first point is the preparation of the reports and all those things. At the same time, you should be able to tell with which bank you can get the loan syndicated, the loan arranged. So it could be a kitty of one or two private banks and one or two nationalized banks. So that is what I feel should be the starting point.
सुबह मैं ऐड करना चाहता हूँ कि आजकल क्या है कि बैंक ने क्या कर रखा है कि बहुत सारे यंग चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स मैंने देखा है कि उनके यहाँ वो जाते आते रहते हैं और अपने आप को इम्पैनल कर रखे हैं। आप अगर बैंक जाइएगा ना, तो बैंक बोलेगा कि आप मुझे अच्छा कोई ला के दीजिए, कोई अकाउंट ला के दीजिए। आप अगर अच्छा एक बार एक अकाउंट ला के दे देंगे ना, उसके बाद बैंक आपको रेगुलर बोलेगा, और बैंक आपको फीस देता है। मैं आपको बता दूं, बैंकों में ये सिस्टम कर रखा है कि जो 50 पैसा आपको मिल रहा है, अल्टीमेटली तो वो कस्टमर से ले रहे हैं। बैंक अपनी जेब से कुछ नहीं दे रहा है, तो 50 पैसा आपको बैंक ही देगा। आपका जो क्लाइंट है वो तो जो क्या देगा वो अलग बात है, बैंक भी आपको पैसे देता है। और ये एक बहुत हेल्दी प्रैक्टिस मैंने देखा है। अच्छे अकाउंट आप हाउसिंग लोन ला के दीजिए ना, हाउसिंग लोन में भी देते हैं वो, कार लोन ला के दीजिए, बैंक इज लुकिंग फॉर द रिटेल टाइप ऑफ लोन्स ऑल्सो। तो बैंकों से आपका कनेक्शन होगा तब, जब आप मान लीजिए आप कोई स्टॉक ऑडिट कर रहे हैं, कोई कंकरेंट ऑडिट कर रहे हैं, तो विजिटिंग द बैंक इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। बैंक आपके पास कभी नहीं आएगा। आप बैंक के पास जाइए, रेगुलर जाइए, ऐसे ही मिल के आइए, बिना कोई काम के भी जाइए कि भाई कैसे हैं। एक रिलेशन, बैंकिंग में रिलेशनशिप बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। तो ये इस तरह से काम शुरू होगा। मैंने तो देखा है छोटे छोटे लोगों ने, या तो पहले आपको स्टार्ट करना चाहिए कोई बड़ी फर्म से, जो कि लोन सिंडिकेशन टाइप की फर्म है, वहां पर आप कुछ सीख जाओगे, उसके बाद आप अपना करो, स्काई इज द लिमिट मेरे ख्याल से। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन। हु इज आस्किंग अलाउड टू टॉक? चंदन पगड़िया। बोलिए चंदन
Sorry,
जी।
sir, but it cannot be like we cannot give them the access to speak, but they are free to type it in the chat box.
ओके ओके, चैट बॉक्स, ओके। One Arvind Pathak is also wanting to, but I think he should type in the chat box only.
Sir, I've given Chandan Pagaria the
चंदन जी आपको,
authority to speak.
यस
Yes.
सर आप
आप,
मेरे को सुन पा रहे हैं सर? सर मुझे सुन पा रहे
Yes,
हैं?
sir, you're audible.
सर मैं पूछ रहा था कि अभी जो हम लोग कैपिटल एडुकेशन नॉर्म्स मेंटेन करते हैं बैंक में, तो वो 8% या आप करते हैं या 9% पे करते हैं सर?
मुकेश इसका जवाब दोगे?
So ये डिपेंड करेगा, I mean, on your financials and capital adequacy norms is not,
तो
I
जैसे हम
mean,
लोग प्रोविजनिंग नॉर्म्स करते हैं, तो जैसे प्रायोरिटी सेक्टर में प्रोविजन को जैसे डिवाइड कर देते हैं, 10% का है
yes,
प्रायोरिटी लेंडिंग में, फर्स्ट स्टैंडर्ड एसेट में, फिर उसके ऊपर आता है 20% फॉर मोर देन 2 ईयर, फॉर मोर देन 3 ईयर 50%, लॉस एसेट में 100%। ऐसे हम लोग जाते हैं। तो सर हम लोग जैसे प्रोविजन करते हैं जब हम लोग उसका, तो वो भी हम लोग को जैसे 5.5 का है टीयर 1 इक्विटी कैपिटल, 1.5 का है एडिशनल टीयर 1 इक्विटी कैपिटल, 2% का टीयर 2 कैपिटल, फिर 2% 2.5 का बफर, कंजर्वेटिव बफर, कंजर्वेशन बफर। तो वो सर हम लोग जैसे 2 इसका एक मल्टीप्लायर लाना लेने का हम सोच रहे हैं कि 10% का अगर मल्टीप्लायर हो तो 5.5 या 5 पकड़ लीजिए सर, तो 5.5 50%, फिर 10%, फिर 20%, फिर 25%।
correct, correct.
तो
That is
प्रोविजन भी वैसे उसी तरह से करना है सर।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
सो वही मैं आपसे डिस्कस कर रहा था सर। तो मैंने एक यूटिलिटी बनाई है सर इसकी सिबिल स्कोर में, तो वो सर आपको दिखाने भी चाहता था, लेकिन अभी मैं ऑनलाइन में दिखा नहीं पा रहा हूँ सर अभी।
तो जो यू कैन रिक्वेस्ट राशि फॉर अ सेशन, आप इंस्टीट्यूट में जरूर दीजिए। आई थिंक बहुत अच्छा रहेगा सबके लिए। वेरी नाइस।
ये बहुत ही बढ़िया आपने बोला है कि ये कैपिटल एडिक्वेसी वाला जो है, ये है फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ द बैंक, कस्टमर हैज
पर्पस ऑफ
गॉट,
द बैंक।
करेक्ट।
तो जैसे 50% का मेरा लॉस एसेट के ऊपर अगर है, 2 ईयर के
हाँ
ऊपर है, 50% है।
हाँ
और अगर उससे कम स्टैंडर्ड एसेट है तो
हाँ
10% है, फिर 20% है, फिर 25% है। तो उसी
हाँ
तरह से सर हमारा कैपिटल एडुकेसी भी तो 5, अगर एक मल्टीप्लायर है, 10% का मल्टीप्लायर है, हम रिपीट कर रहे थे उसी बात को, तो
हाँ हाँ
5 का 50%, 20 का 2 का 20%, 1 का 10%,
हाँ
और 15 का 1.5 का 15%।
हाँ।
इसको इसको इन टोटल एक बार देखना होगा राजेश। इट इज
इन
नॉट,
टोटल का 125 आता है सर, मैक्सिमम टाइम में 125 आता है।
सो इंडिविजुअल लोन बोरोवर्स के लिए ये अप्लाई नहीं करते हैं।
वो क्लास एसेट क्लासिफिकेशन है सर, एसेट क्लास एज इंडिविजुअल बोरो के
यस
लिए।
यस यस, करेक्ट। If any other question is there, we can.
महावीर प्रसाद अग्रवाल भी शायद।
I have given him the permission to talk.
हाँ,
You can continue,
महावीर
sir.
प्रसाद जी जरा बताइए क्या बोलना चाह रहे हैं, आपका म्यूट किया हुआ है। आ नहीं रहे हो। इज ही देयर अवेलेबल?
He is there, but he has not yet unmuted himself. But we can move on.
जी,
Does anyone else have any further questions?
मैं आपको इस तरह से एक और बोलना चाह रहा हूँ कि ये जो बैंक फाइनेंस का जो एरिया है, सो फार एज द प्रोफेशनल अपॉर्चुनिटीज एज कंसर्न, आई हैव जस्ट टोल्ड यू टिल नाउ दैट हाउ टू हैंडल द बैंक. Now I feel that there is a huge professional opportunity because my India now Viksit Bharat 2047, and we are going for the 5 trillion very soon. We will becoming the third largest economy. Then this bank finance has got a great role. What I could see 30 years back, now there are lot of changes and there is a huge professional opportunities because various types of loans. Without loan, you cannot prosper. On capital से कितना होगा आपको पता ही है. So this, I think this is a great area for a professional opportunity because क्या है कि केवल आप बैंक लोन का अगर आप काम करते हैं, फाइनेंस का काम करते हैं, इसमें आपकी अपॉर्चुनिटी भी अच्छी है और सेल्फ सेटिस्फैक्शन भी मिलता है बिकॉज यू आर रीडिंग द बैलेंस शीट बेसिकली, यू आर अंडरस्टैंडिंग द इकोनॉमी. दिस इज ए प्योर प्रोफेशनल वर्क. तो अकॉर्डिंग टू मी, अगर नए चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट अगर इस एरिया में आते हैं, उनको बहुत जल्दी इसमें काफी अच्छा सक्सेस मिल सकता है. Huge professional opportunity are there already. I will request the new generation who wants to come. I think this is very good practice area. No, Mukesh?
Yes, absolutely. And with the IBC, the stressed asset,
Yes.
uh, I mean, there are so many, अपॉर्चुनिटीज की. आप जो भी स्ट्रेस्ड एसेट्स है बैंक के पास, उसको आप कैसे सेटल कराएंगे, और अकॉर्डिंगली इट इज बेसिकली एग्रीगेटर, रोल ऑफ एन एग्रीगेटर, जो आज आपको डिमांड एंड सप्लाई को मैच कराना है. सो बेसिकली अगर इफ यू हैव द लेंडर्स एंड बैंक्स आर विलिंग टू डू whatever is required to acquire good assets, अगर आपको अच्छा लेंडर, अच्छा बैंक, अच्छा अकाउंट मिल रहा है, सो वो मैचिंग आपको करना है, प्रोफाइलिंग आपको करना है, बैंक के पास जाके मिलके रेगुलर इंटरेक्शन. यू विल नॉट बिलीव, व्हेन आई स्टार्टेड अबाउट 30 years back, आई स्टार्टेड विद 2 banks एंड उनका मैं खाली चार्ज फाइलिंग का काम करता था. So whatever loan documents they used to execute, I just used to do their creation of charge with ROC. So from there, they started giving us the work, and then preparation of project report started, CMI data started, and so many other things. So one or two things, it is just the starting point, and thereafter sky's the limit.
Yes.
I would like to request you all to share some tricks to increase our CIBIL score, like credit rating, some things that we can do.
You are talking about how to improve your credit rating.
Right.
Yes. First thing is that you please go with the good credit rating agency like CRISIL and all. And Mukesh told in the beginning itself कि कुछ क्रेडिट रेटिंग एजेंसी ऐसी हैं कि एक बार आपने उससे करवा दिया, तो अगर आप उसको एनओसी अगर बैंक का नहीं देंगे, तो वो हमेशा ये लिखेंगे कि कस्टमर फेल टू कोऑपरेट, और उनका जो फीस है वो आपको आज नहीं तो 10 साल बाद भी देना पड़ेगा. उनका साल में एक मेल आएगा कि आपका जो है ये बिल रेज हो गया. आप देखेंगे मैं तो उससे करवाता ही नहीं हूँ रेटिंग, मैं तो करवाता हूँ क्रिसिल से ही. तो क्रिसिल से मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि काफी प्रोफेशनल, मैंने उनसे, ये है एक बात. दूसरा क्या है कि आपके ऑफ कोर्स जो फाइनेंशियल्स हैं वो बहुत अच्छे होने चाहिए, एंड देयर शुड बी ए गुड प्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ द फाइनेंशियल. योर फाइनेंशियल का अलावा आपकी जो क्वालिफिकेशंस जो होते हैं, अगर इफ एनी इन द ऑडिटर्स रिपोर्ट, मेरे ख्याल से आपको उसको पहले ही उसको क्लियर करवा लेना चाहिए. ये क्वालिफिकेशंस बहुत खराब होते हैं. थर्ड होता है कि अगर आप जो प्रोजेक्ट कर रहे हैं, एटलीस्ट उस प्रोजेक्शंस को आप अचीव करिए. अगर आपके पास्ट हिस्ट्री ये बोलता है कि आपने प्रोजेक्शंस को कभी अचीव नहीं किया, दैट इज अगेन ए वेरी गुड। एंड द लास्ट थिंग इज दैट कि कैश आपके पास में होना चाहिए। अल्टीमेटली कैश इज द किंग। अगर इफ द कंपनी इज शॉर्ट ऑफ फंड्स, तब आपकी रेटिंग अच्छी तो नहीं हो सकती। अब इसमें आपके मैनेजमेंट में अगर आप अच्छे लोगों को लेते हैं, प्रोफेशनल डायरेक्टर को लेते हैं, इंडिपेंडेंट डायरेक्टर को लेते हैं, तो उससे एक क्रेडिट रेटिंग आपकी बहुत अच्छी होती है। ये एक चौथा एक आयाम है। और पांचवा ये है कि सबमिशन ऑफ द डाटा टू से आपकी पेनल्टीज अगर लग गई, से जीएसटी में पेनल्टी लग गई, आपके इनकम टैक्स के आपके प्रोसीडिंग्स में बहुत सारे केसेस पेंडिंग है, ये सब जो चीजें हैं वो आपकी रेटिंग को खराब करता है। तो आपको और प्लस जो है वो हर महीने जो वो भेजते हैं ना कि आपने जो है वो टाइमली पेमेंट किया कि नहीं किया इंटरेस्ट का, उसको आप मेल को देखिए और जवाब दे दीजिए। बार बार ये इंतजार मत कीजिए कि वो आपको कॉल करे कि साहब आप जो है इसको प्लीज क्लिक कर दीजिए कि आपने टाइमली पेमेंट किया है कि डिले इन द पेमेंट ऑफ। और जो जब रेटिंग होती है उस दिन जो एनालिसिस का डिस्कशन होता है, एटलीस्ट जो आदमी डिस्कस कर रहे हैं उनको पूरी इंफॉर्मेशन होनी चाहिए कंपनी के बारे में, क्योंकि जो बोर्ड बैठता है तो उसमें एक नॉच के लिए भी आपका फर्क पड़ता है। तो उस दिन आपका बढ़िया से प्रिपरेशन होना चाहिए। ये मेरे अपने सुझाव है। मुकेश भी इसमें कुछ ऐड कर सकता है, क्योंकि हो सकता है मैंने कुछ।
Rajesh, you have rightly pointed out. From my experience, I'll just give. So there was a private equity participation in my company where I was representing. And, the analysts, they always have a worry कि भाई आपका जो टर्म शीट था प्राइवेट इक्विटी पार्टिसिपेंट्स के साथ, विच वाज फॉर अ पीरियड ऑफ 3 years, एंड नाउ यू हैव नॉट कम आउट विद एन आईपीओ, और आप कहाँ डाइवर्सिफाई कर रहे हो, आपका कहाँ पे क्या है। सो what Rajesh mentioned is very important, that you have to be very much up to date, and the way you present yourself with the data to the analysts, it is very important because they look at the confidence, the way you do. And yes, you have to be actually very transparent, because somehow they'll come to know in case you are just trying to do any foul play. And of course, the presence of independent directors makes a big difference, and because that talks of a corporate governance. So on corporate level, definitely it is, it happens, and there are, the issuers, the rating agencies, they give you a draft report, उसमें आप उनसे डिस्कस करिए, उनको आप बोलिए समथिंग सिमिलर टू व्हाट इज लाइक इन अ सैंक्शन लेटर, आप डिस्कस करते हैं उनसे टर्म्स। आप क्रेडिट रेटिंग एजेंसी से भी आप डिस्कस करिए, देयर आर सर्टेन थिंग्स व्हिच यू डू नॉट एग्री अपॉन। इन वन ऑफ द इंस्टेंसेस we really thoroughly, we did 3 such meetings, and they had to accept what we were trying to submit, and they had to incorporate that in their report, because that one or two line makes a big difference in your rating. So it all depends on the way you represent and your preparedness of the data, of your documents, and the overall, what is the company looking at, what is the outlook of the company 1 year 2 years down the line. That is something very important you need to outline. You cannot say कि भाई management को पता है, management बताएगा. If you are a CFO or a general manager, or I mean in a senior level, आपको पता होना चाहिए कंपनी के बारे में, कंपनी क्या सोच रही है, मैनेजमेंट क्या सोच रही है. So these things help. And as far as the individual CIBIL score is concerned, yes, आपको regularly now you are able to access your CIBIL reports through your net banking, also through any other app. आप उसको regularly review करिए, and there are cases where banks do, वो लोग तो बल्क में रिपोर्ट को अपलोड करते हैं, सो देयर देयर कुड बी एरर्स, एंड उसको आप प्रॉपर्ली रिप्रेजेंट करके आप बैंक से आप यू कैन गिव योर पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू। जस्ट आप चुपचाप नहीं बैठे रहिए कि ये तो आ गया, आप तो कुछ कर नहीं सकते। थैंक यू।
Thank you so much. So, on behalf of everyone present, I would like to extend a heartfelt gratitude to both CA Rajesh Singhania and to CA Mukesh Bajaj for sharing their valuable time, knowledge, and practical insights with us today. Your detailed explanations on nuances of bank credit, documentations, and negotiation strategies have truly enhanced our understanding of this crucial aspect of financial management. Your expertise and guidance have given us a clearer perspective on how professionals can effectively approach and manage credit relationships with banks. We sincerely thank you both for taking the time to interact with us and for making this session both engaging and enriching. Thank you once again, both of you, for your valuable contribution.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay. Then I'm leaving, huh?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rajesh. Bye.
Thank you, boss.